Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another race of Rush Racing League. And yes, it is Division 4, and this one is going to be a good one. It is Melbourne. Well, we were there last week for the real Formula One, and we're here this week with Rush Racing League. And I cannot wait for this race. In the comms box tonight is the man that has been doing Division 4 permanently now. It's Mr. George.
Hi SJ, hi everyone on stream, and it's great to be back for another Division 4 race. We've had a little bit of a break. We've enjoyed some real Formula One. Finally, we see the season in 2025 kick off and get started. I'm so excited. We've had pandemonium at Australia in the real F1. What is it going to be like today? That is the question we need to answer.
Yes, no, it is going to be a fantastic race ahead. Australia is one of those races that has a lot of drama, a lot of safety cars, a lot of incidents, a lot of overtakes, mixed weather conditions as well. Also, just a big shout out as well to Eddie Jordan that lost his life, unfortunately, 2 days ago. So we will be doing a little bit of in memory of him. So everyone should be wearing a yellow helmet or yellow and black helmet to basically give him his memory. And basically back in the Jordan days when we had that lovely yellow and black car, a big figure in F1, which is a shame to lose him. And that's now two big figures that we've lost in Murray Walker and Eddie Jordan. So, thoughts and prayers go to his family. And thank you everyone as well for jumping in and doing the helmet as well. It means a lot, and love to see the support for the whole league. And George, over to you.
I couldn't agree more.
Over to you for Australia.
Yeah, here we go. So it's a race that's been held 88 times at a number of different places. Albert Park circuit, of course, since 2022. It's a 5.2 kilometer, 3.2 mile circuit. And the full race length here is 306 kilometers. We're not going quite that far this time, half that number, about 153 kilometers, excuse me, for the drivers to do today. And it's a beautiful, beautiful circuit. Lots of tricky corners here to navigate. We've got some really high-speed sections. We've got some really low-speed sections too. And as you can see right now, ladies and gentlemen, it is raining out there, and the intermediate tires are out and on the cars. And this is going to be a real, true replication of what we saw a week and a bit ago at the Australian Grand Prix in Formula One. This is where it gets exciting because, SJ, as you well know, rain tends to mix up the order. It tends to create a lot of issues for the drivers, and small mistakes turn into massive, massive issues that can affect drivers' championships, that can change the constructors' championship, and can really throw a cat amongst the pigeons.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. And they must have obviously seen us coming because we have rain. So they saw us coming last week when we were watching it, but this week we're racing it, and they've given us the weather that we got for this. So unfortunately, it's a little bit in reverse. It was dry in quali, and then obviously wet in the race. So will it be the other way around? Will it be wet in quali and dry in the race, or will it be wet in both? We'll have to wait and see. That's who we have on track tonight. We've got Moontime in the Ferrari. We've got Pip in the Merc, Dynasty in the Merc, Uncle Morty in the Red Bull, Ricardo in the Astons, Semi Slammers in the Haas, Evil Blade in the McLaren, Flying Kiwi in the Haas, T Summons in the Red Bull, Hippie Slayer in the Kick, Wogjet in the Williams, Panic in the McLaren, Cooper the Bot in the Kick, Falcon reserving up in the Alpine, Mudpack reserving up in the Ferrari, Master Suck in the Aston, Deadly in the Williams, Gangster, a new driver as well in the Alpine. Unfortunately, no visa cash apps tonight, which is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. So yeah, it is what it is. No, we'll run with 18. That means that 3 of these guys will be going out in quali. But what do you think that? What do you think this race is going to give us? Because we are seeing the championship really starting to heat up at the moment with the Astons and the Mercedes. So is it going to be an Aston and Mercedes battle tonight?
It might well be. I mean, we have to see. Rain just throws such a big question mark into the entire thing. So our predictions, which are often inaccurate anyway, become completely wild and unfathomable. So I don't know. It really is the question of tonight, and qualifying will tell the tale. Already, the Aston Martin is looking strong there with Ricciardo setting a 125.9. He's zero point 0.5 of a second clear of Master, who's actually in P2, then Deadly Fuller, who's almost a second back for that Williams in P3. So this is going to really depend on how familiar the drivers are going to be with the wet rain, how familiar they are with Melbourne as a circuit itself. It's a tricky place to go. And yeah, right now, with Pep leading the Drivers' Championship on 141 points, he's still got a lot of breathing room back to Master on 109 points. And of course, you've got Dynasty Sparrow on 103. So that P2, P3 area in the championship right now for Division 4 is really heating up, despite the fact that we're in cooler temperatures and a bit of rain on circuit. Already seeing some cautions out there and a few cars coming across the line to set their initial times. The McLarens are one that I'm going to be keeping a close eye on today. Panic currently sitting in P7 on the Drivers' Championship. Evil Blade just holding on barely to that top 10 position, up a couple of positions since the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. But yeah, in terms of the overall Drivers' Constructors' Championship, SJ, Mercedes still dominant, 41 points ahead.
Yes, yeah, no, it's going to be very interesting, but anything can happen. It's still a long season to go. And we have seen a dominant performance from the Astons lately, but this could definitely spice things up there as Hippie Stay goes miles off the track there. And obviously, like you say, with those wet conditions as well, that spices things up a lot more as well. As we do see the two Mercedes in P4 and P5, the Williams in P6 and P7, then they're surrounded by a Haas. They're in P8 at the moment. Cooperbot, Evil Blade, Moontime are going out. Moontime in P17, Evil Blade in P18, Sammy the Sun Medan, they're in P16. Both McLarens in P11 and one setting a time at the moment. So we will jump on board with some flying laps very shortly. But yeah, this is going to spice things up depending on what the weather is going to do in the feature race. We are going to have 3 guys out, so still do your best in Q1 because you never know what happens. Q2 is going to be very interesting to see, as we've just seen the 2 kicks going P3 and P5 there, cemented right in the middle there of a Red Bull of T Salmon's. A bit similar like the real life, isn't it? That Max Verstappen just does not seem to have the pace at the moment in the Chinese Grand Prix, and cemented himself in, I think it was P4 or P3 position. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But yeah, the Astons could take a very big lead, well, a very nice, a gap to Mercedes trying to pull them in on the constructors if these two finish in the same position as they are.
That's right, yeah. And, you know, we've seen Cooper the bot for Kickstarter. He's come in like an absolute wildfire and just completely demolished all of our best drivers here in Division 4. And so he'll be a bit disappointed, I think, with that lap, a 126.922. He's almost a second off the pace at the moment. And so his teammate Carly has actually done a really great lap there, the 26.850. It's not a big difference, only a few hundredths of a second in it, really. But honestly, that's going to be a big one for Cooper the bot to see if he's actually still got that pace that we know he's got in the dry. Does he actually have that same pace in the wet? Panic for McLaren goes up into P3. Still no one yet, though, SJ. Back into the 25s. Ricciardo is looking really stable here. You know, he's got clearly a very good idea of how that Aston Martin is going to operate in the wet, and he's executing it extremely well on track.
Yes, yeah, they are. And Panic obviously has just put himself into P3 as well, so that's a great position for them. And we saw last week, didn't we, that McLaren got one over on Mercedes last week in Division 4 for a change. We've not seen it this season. And Blade finishing very highly, and also Panic finishing very highly, and also Dynasty losing it last week as well, and not scoring any points, which McLaren actually made 30 points on Mercedes last week in the overalls. So, you know, it's gone from, I think it was, what was it, 9, I'm just going to let you know, I think it was 9982. I'm just going to, here we go, the overalls. So Mercedes leading it with 1173, and McLaren at 992. Last week, they had 832, so they have made 160 points. So big, very impressive from them. But like I said, still early days, isn't it? It's very early days. This is only round 9. We are not even halfway through yet. We've obviously one more race to go, and that will be at Miami. So anything can happen, and when you get these conditions as well, it definitely it spices things up, and that's what we love to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's also, with the half race distance as well, means that we get to see a really good chunk of their driving and their capabilities in the wet. And mixing up the skills coming in towards halfway in the season is really, really important just to see where you stand for the rest of the season. Yeah, we're not halfway through the season. I completely agree. But at the same time, every point does count. And when you get a good result like McLaren did last week, I mean, they'll be riding this confidence wave coming into Melbourne. And that means that they need to perform. They'll be wanting to perform. They'll have that desire and that fire underneath them at the moment just to find some better times, and maybe or maybe not, maybe the weather will help them in this case. At the moment, I've just been watching a little bit of the McLarens, and they've been going a little bit on and off the track, similar to what we saw with the Formula One. We saw Piastri and Norris go and synchronized mistake off into the gravel trap just before the last corner into 15, I believe it was. Prost just before that last beautiful corner, sweeping right-hander 16 onto the pit straight. Stunning place to be. And there's some great corners in here, SJ, but I don't know how confident I would feel personally being in the car in the wet in these scenarios.
Yeah, I don't know. The track in itself and the dry is obviously very, very difficult with the tyre degradation here. The mediums are very, very bad on tyre wear. So it's going to be very interesting to see if we do have the dry race going into this, to see how the tyre wear is going to work with some of these guys. But George, I'm going to let you jump on board, and I'll let you take it over with Deadly Fuller for a flying lap of the Melbourne Grand Prix. Over to you.
Here we go. So on board now with Deadly Fuller. He's coming down the main straight into the first corner. It's Brabham and then Jones, a fast sweeping right-hander. He's got that all right. Gets it onto the curb at the exit. A little bit of momentum and switching the car there towards the end. Doesn't actually reach the exit curb as the rear end did step out a little bit under acceleration. Now we go into 3. It's a hard braking zone. Got to get this turned in really nicely because you're looking to sweep it to the right-hand side, set up. For turn 4, now into Whiteford. Turn 5, another sweeping right-hander. He goes through it nicely, way too deep though, unfortunately for him. And so he's actually maybe even made contact with the barrier as he heads into 6. Another sweeping right-hander. You go right, you go left. He's all over the place. The rear does not want to stick to the ground at all in these conditions. Through 9, into Clark, and then 10. It's a fastest sector of the entire circuit, all the way down. You barrel towards turn 11, which is the fast one. This is where we really see the cars come alive, and you switch it in, and then you switch it again to the right, and you get it absolutely hooked up and absolutely right, which is what Deadly Fella has done as he barreled down towards the Ascari. Turn 13, he's got a car in front of him that doesn't end up getting out of the way. Just reaching the edge of the white line there, doesn't run over it. That's the sensible thing to do because the tyres don't like that. Through 14 and towards the final couple of quarters now, get hard on the brakes, get this thing slowed down, hit that apex, get it turned in. You're sweeping to the left again as you head into 16, and around you go towards the pit lane at maximum throttle. It's a decent lap for Deadly Fella. Whether or not it's an improvement, let's see. It's a 27.5 on the board, and he's gone up now to P10 with a 27.0, SJ.
Yeah, very, very well done there. That obviously is enough to get him through. But they're trying to get a little slipstream there off his teammate. I see Wojciech just in front there. P9 and P10. Good points, good positions for the Williams at the moment. 5 minutes still to go in this race. We've still got the two Hasses down there in P14 and P15. I'm going to jump on board with Sammy the Slammer for a flying lap of the Australian Grand Prix. So here we go on board the Haas. Down in P14, we know that Sammy Slammer's got some serious pace. Here we go. Look at the conditions. Very easy to lose it, but coming up to the main straight, normally you have the DRS, but you don't have anything. Swerving a little bit over there, trying to get a little bit of temperature into those tyres. Keep an eye out on that sector 1, see if he's going to be up on or down on that time. Still moving left and right to try and get as much grip and as much track temperature as possible, because it's probably very cold and very wet out there at the moment. He's in a 127.635, goes a little bit wide, gets onto the curb there nicely, does not want to be making any mistakes. Ooh, that was very close, could have easily oversteered there. 5.5 tenths down on his time. He's not using any of his ERS. This is not a good lap by Sammy Slammers if this is actually a lap from him. It doesn't look like it is. No, he's not pushing at all, so we'll jump off him and we'll jump on board with Panic. Panic coming round. I don't think he's pushing either. Is anyone pushing at the moment? It looks like no. Mudpack. Moontime is. He was up and down on his time a little bit there. He's got his teammate of Mudpack out in front, low on the fuel. Does he get round? Is he coming in? No, he's going to finish his time off. Let's have a look. Come on, get round that last corner. Is it going to be up? Is it going to be down? What's it going to be? He's done a 1:27.323, and he does a 1:27.167 and overtakes his teammate.
Very nice. I mean, he'll be happy with that. He's still up in the safe zone. He's ahead of his teammate right now, which will feel good. 4 laps on those intermediate tyres as well, so he'll be glad to have gotten a reasonably decent lap on those worn set of tyres. And coming around the corner as well, Evil Blade, he's in P16, so he's in the elimination zone. Will it be an improvement from the McLaren driver? It's not, because he's starting another lap right now, so this will be one to keep a big eye on as we head into the last 3 minutes of Q1.
Yeah, going to be interesting here. We've still got Gangsta Uncle Morty and Evil Blade that at the moment are going out. So we'll have to have a look and see what happens. But we do have Cooper the Bot on an out lap as well, which I'll just jump on board and I'll take it over to you again, George, for another flyer.
Here we go. So through the couple of first corners, Brabham and Jones, and now down through the first straight towards 3, looking strong. We know how fast Cooper the Bot is. He's using that ERS nice and effectively, gets a bit of recharge going as he heads through turn 3, now sweeping to the left-hand side through turn 4 and into Whitefoot. Great line there from Cooper the Bot. He's so clean on the controls, and a little bit of a slide there. Didn't use the exit curb at all. Probably not carrying as much speed as he could have done through 5. Now 6. Looks tidy enough. Does clip the inside part of that curb from turn 7 and 8. Now through to Clark in 9. Foot to the floor and maximum ERS and overtake deployment at the moment. He's at 33%. Is he going to keep using it? Yes, he is, down to 30. Let's see here how he handles the left-hander and then the right-hander. This is so tricky to get absolutely right in these conditions, and he's missed the second apex, unfortunately. A little bit of issue getting the traction down on the exit of 12. Now towards the Scari. Good lap so far from Cooper. It's going to be quick. The question is, can he get it slowed down for that last corner? It's so difficult to do so. And now into Stewart, turn 14, another left-hander. And he's got that absolutely pinpoint right, swips it out to the right-hand side. Does he get it slowed down? Does hit the apex nicely, gets it turned to the left and through into 16. It's a decent lap from Cooper the Bot. He's on a 26.4 at the moment. Let's see what his time is across the line, all up on his personal best. And it's going to be good enough for P3s into the 25s.
Yeah, very good time there. People are still starting to improve. A 1 minute and 27 to go. We are seeing some improvements. We've just seen Evil Blade go up to P11. He was in the drop zone. We've got Uncle Morty in the drop zone as well. We've got Gangster in the drop zone. And now Sammy the Slammer. Falcon has actually made it out there on a 27.5. He's down there in P15 at the moment. These conditions are really starting to improve a little bit. Not as much as probably they were from the beginning, but they are a little bit seeing not as much rain. I don't know if we're seeing a dry line yet, but we are going to see some of those times improve. These guys are going to get quicker and quicker because we're into the 25s now. And then, yeah, it's only top 3 in the 25s and everyone else is in the 26s. But Falcon is actually invalidated there, so he's going to have to get this right. Otherwise, it's game over for him, and he could be out. Sammy the Slammer is 4.5 attempts up on his time. This is going to be a good time for Sammy the Slammer. This pushes him up to P6. Very well done there from Sammy the Slammer. That puts Falcon now into the drop zone. That puts both Alpines into the drop zone. I think Gangster is out. Gangster looks like he could be out. Yes, he is. He is out of quali. He is into P16 and he is out. So are we going to see a double Alpine lockout here out of qualifying?
Yeah, we might well do. I mean, Alpine have had such a run of bad form this season so far. 9 races, no good results, really, at the end of the day. I do also want to unfortunately have to report that Uncle Morty has pulled into the pits. His qualifying is done. He's currently doing his best Liam Lawson impression right now. Ooh, too soon? Maybe too soon. Flying Kiwi is the next one who's just above that drop zone. So the question is going to be, can Gangster or Falcon put in a decent enough lap? Find themselves, they need at least a 10.5 from this, which doesn't seem that much, SJ, around a track like this. But at the end of the day, it's so tricky in these conditions. And I don't think there's a front wing on Gangster's car. Might be a graphical glitch there, but I think he's got damage.
Yeah. Oh, Falcon has a little bit of a... Oh, that was so unlucky there.
Oh,
wow, that was so unlucky. He nearly went into the wall, lost it. He was 5.5 tenths up on his time. Is that going to drop him out? Is that going to be enough? We'll have to wait and see here. Is he going to push Flying Kiwi down into the drop zone? Let's have a look. Last couple of corners. Here we go. The quali's finished for Dynasty and Ricardo, and the rest of the guys at the top. Looks like Glenister was in his way. Yeah, it does look like he was. So point done for impeding there. But Falcon goes across the line.
Oh,
Does
Falcon's done it.
he does, and he pushes Flying Kiwi out of Q1. Well, there you go.
Wow.
That's your Q1.
Well, 3 manufacturers in the drop zone. It's a Haas, it's an Alpine, it's a Red Bull. So Moontime just scrapes through by the skin of his teeth. And Falcon, what a great lap to put in there. Puts himself well into the 26s. So it's a very, very good lap at the end. Had to make avoiding action on his teammate. And because Gangster was there, missing a front wing, bouncing off walls towards the end of Sector 3. And luckily for Falcon, he was able to navigate that and get through and put in a good lap. And he will continue on to Q2, which is fantastic for Alpine. They'll be stoked to get at least one car into Q2. The question really now will be, SJ, is how will these drivers fare when 5 more have to be eliminated?
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting thing now. Q2 looks like it's going to be very, very interesting. And is it going to be raining in Q2? That's the next thing. But in Q1, Cooper the Bot, Dynasty, and Ricardo are your top 3 there. So one of the Mercedes drivers has got into the top, and the other Mercedes drivers only just made it into the top 10 there. So really good start there for Cooper, Dynasty, and Ricardo. Going all the way down to the bottom, Flying Kiwi, Gangster, and Uncle Morty are all out of Q1. Next up, Q2.
There we go. That's a big good one. I'm really looking forward to this. I think, if we get more rain, I think that would be appropriate given the scenario that we're in right now, Q1, Q2, Q3. If they're all in the rain, I think that'd be excellent. And yes, look, there is still rain coming down on the circuit, so no real change in the weather conditions out there. It'll be intermediate tires again for all the drivers. They will go out and they will have that same struggle. Now, we did see a few cars get into the 125s in the Q1. The question is going to be, will the track start drying up towards the end of the session like it did in Q1? And will we actually end up seeing the same thing happen in Q3? So this is going to be a really tricky qualifying for these guys, and 5 cars need to be eliminated from this one.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. We've got Gangster, Uncle Morty, and Gangster is in the chat in the Alpine, and we didn't get both Alpines out. We only got one out. So George, I'll let you take it away with Gangster, and who is in the comms box.
There we go. Hello, Gangster. So Alpine not having the best of days out there. Hello. Not having the best day out there for Alpine at the moment. We saw on that final push lap you lost the front wing. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, I was about to fuel load was very low in my last lap, and I wanted to push. I was trying hard, but I over steer on that turn and smashed into the wall.
Yeah, it was really unlucky, and we were gutted to see because you were looking like you were putting in a pretty good lap. It would have probably put you into Q2, and for Alpine to have 2 cars into Q2 in Division 4 has been a pretty big. It's been rare to see it, so we're gutted for you, of course. What's the mindset now going into the race, given you're starting at the back of the field?
So it's the dry and sunny day on the race, so I'll try my best because I'm not so good in wet in Australia. That's why, and will give my best on the race.
Absolutely, yeah. We wish you the best of luck in the race, and yeah, qualifying in the wet at Australia not easy at all. What do you think is the hardest thing to achieve in the wet? Is it the braking, the accelerating, just getting the oversteer and understeer out of control? What's the hardest thing about qualifying in the wet?
It's the acceleration on after the turns, and this gives me hard time. The
Absolutely.
acceleration thing is very hard in the wet. Yeah.
Absolutely. SJ, any questions from yourself before we wish this man good luck in the race?
Yeah. What's the plan with obviously Alpine? Obviously, you've got one of your drivers, Falcon, that made it through. Are you going to try and work together and try and score some big points tonight? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I'll try to be in top 10 in the race, and obviously, if Falcon made it to Q1, he'll try to make it in top 5. So we will have a one pit stop plan, and yeah, that's all.
All good. All right. Well, we wish you all the best, and good luck, and hopefully we'll see you can score some good points for Alpine, and maybe even have a chat on the podium.
Yeah, thanks, man.
No problem. All right. Doesn't look like we're going to get the other guys in because they're quite shy. So it looks like it's back to business in Q2, George.
Yeah. It's all right. We don't bite here in the commentary box. We're actually very kind to people in the commentary box, except to ourselves. You know, we definitely say nasty things about our fellow commentators and such in the commentary box, but we keep that behind closed doors. So we don't bite. Come and jump in, have a chat with us. I tell you, it's sometimes a bit more than just the nerves. You know, you can get actually a reaffirmation of what a good job you've done. I mean, it's so difficult to qualify in the wet. I totally understand where Gangster's coming from. You know, getting that acceleration down just in the right way. I mean, you can't go full throttle in these conditions. You have to work the throttle so carefully and with such finesse. It's a real skill to develop, and it takes a lot of experience, a lot of time driving in the wet to do that. But at the end of the day, you've just got to give it a go. There's nothing like failure to give you a lesson in how to do it right.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Some of these guys are going to love these conditions. You know, they're going to love the wet and compared to the dry. And as we've seen with Australia, like it's pretty simple track to do on the dry. But obviously, when you push, you know, when you're turning it into the wet track, it's obviously going to be a lot more difficult. You know, the back end's going to be sliding out. Are you going to be changing your strategy there? And we've actually lost Panic. Panic is out.
I've just witnessed a horrendous accident here. Yeah, so Panic was coming up on one of the Alpines. I think it was actually Falcon he was coming up on, and I don't think Falcon maybe got out of the way or saw him coming. And he tried to take an outside line, hit the curb, and the car just lost the rear end, and he went around straight into the barrier. So that's a huge accident early on in this, and luckily for Evil Blade, he was able to stay out of it. He was right behind Panic for this one, so they were aiming to work together, SJ. So Panic out of the session after a massive accident trying to get round an Alpine.
Yeah, massive. Like Rekka said, that's definitely really unfortunate there. But you've got to get your head straight back onto it. You know, he's out. He's going to start P15 or whatever time. You know, it's 27.8. So if no one beats that time, he'll start P12. If not, then he'll start last. Still P15. Still a long way to go. And we don't even know what the conditions are yet for the race. Yeah. But massive there for McLaren losing one of the cars. Is it going to be the same as last week when we lose one of the McLarens instead of one of the Mercedes? You know.
But let's try and not curse our favorite team any further than they clearly are cursed. No, we're hoping now that Evil Blade can obviously get a good result here today, bring it up into Q3. Got to get within that top 10. I mean, for all the other drivers on the grid, they're thinking, there might only be 4 drivers getting eliminated. Essentially, one's already taking himself out. Evil Blade, the only person sitting behind Panic in terms of times. He's on a fast lap right now, coming up towards 11 and 12, so we shall see if he's able to improve. Right now, the order is this: Ricciardo in first place with a 125.496. He's a second clear of Moontime, the top Ferrari in P2, followed by the 2 Mercedes, Dynasty Sparrow and Pep, sitting just at the edge of the 126s, followed by the Aston Martin of Master Suck. Then it is Wogjet, and Wogjet's just gone up into P4 after putting in a great lap, a 125.8. Then it is Sammy the Slammer, the Haas, up into P7 right now, in the pits currently, waiting just to bide his time a little bit before he comes back out and sets that next lap. Then it is Carly for Kick Sauber in P8, Deadly Fuller in P9 for Williams, and the Falcon of Alpine, the Alpine of Falcon in P10, followed by Cooper the Bot in Kick Sauber. He is not putting in the lap times that I thought he would be, currently sitting in the drop zone, as is Mudpack for Ferrari, Evil Blade for McLaren, and T. Salmons for Red Bull.
Yeah, no, interesting there. I do want to take notice of something though. A reserve driver that's jumped in. Moontime, P2. Phenomenal lap there by him for Q2 for the Ferrari.
Absolutely. 125.551 is incredibly quick. He is 6/10 off Ricciardo, who has been consistently one of the best qualifiers in all of Division 4. Only person that's come really close to him has been Cooper the Bot and Master. I mean, Pep's been up there as well, of course, as Dynasty Sparrow, but Ricciardo in the last few races has been qualifying like an absolute monster. So to be that close to him on track, I mean, that's a brilliant result for Moontime. And maybe this is boding to what he can do in the wet. He's obviously a very capable driver.
Yeah, it's a great result, especially from a reserve driver as well, getting in front of obviously Dynasty, Pep, Wogjet, and like you said, being that close to Ricardo. We can't underestimate Master Suck though in that P6 position at the moment. He's having a phenomenal season. They both are the Astons. They look like the team to watch out for at the moment. They look like they have got the momentum. They've been scoring points, consecutive points each week. Mercedes have dipped off a little bit. Yeah, they started very, very well. They were getting into the podium. We've seen Cooper Bot start putting it on the podium as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And then we saw a very, very strong performance last week from McLaren. Now we've got one McLaren left. Is the pressure going to be for Blade at the moment? He looks like he's in a bit of a situation. He's the only car in the 27s down there in P14, and at the moment, him, Mudpack, Cooper Bot, and Salmons are all going out of quali in Q2. So Master Suck is on and out that. And George, I will let you take this one away when he gets around the corner, and we'll see what he can do and see if he can get it into the top 3.
Sounds good. Also, the Mercedes working together there. So Pep was just given a nice slipstream from Dynasty Sparrow. So keep a very close eye on P5. Pep may be jumping up the order in this. Those two working together now. So last corner here for Master Suck. So 25.9 on the board right now, and you're going to see that wing open up at the rear as he flies down. No, he won't, because DRS is not enabled because it's raining. Hello, George. It is raining indeed. Now down into turn 1. Hard on the brakes. Get that thing turned in. Yeah, reaches the corner apex very nicely on the exit of turn 2. That's the corner called Jones. Now flying down towards 3s. He's looking really solid so far for Master, and we know that he's got a lot of pace in this Aston Martin. He showed that earlier on. His teammate up there in P1. Excellent run through 4 and 5. Now gets it turned into the right-hand side. Big slip, though. Wow. He has nearly lost that into the barrier, but he manages to recollect. Through 6 and 7 we go. He's still going. He's probably still going to have a decent amount of time on there. Believe he might have set a Sector 1 purple, but will he have taken a lot of time out of that? I think he might have, with that big slip through turn 5 exit. So let's see. Now into the high-speed section, down towards turn 11. Here we go. Turns it into the left, turns it into the right. Looking stable, a little bit of a bump on the middle part of the apex of turn 12. And now into turn 13. This is where things get really tricky and the pressure starts to amp up. Doesn't get on the white line, does beautifully. Great line through 13. Now into Stewart. Stewart is a really tricky corner. Get it absolutely right. And he's nearly got it wrong, but absolutely on the limit for Master. He knows this lap is super important with 4 minutes to go. Sweeping now through the final corner. What's this time going to be for Master in Aston Martin? Let's have a little look. Let's see. Across the line it goes. And it's going to be good enough for pole position. He's gone and done it. A 25.4, SJ.
Yeah, fantastic again from the Astons, P1, P2. And you just cannot underestimate them at all. That is a phenomenal lap there. It's going to be interesting, though, to see what happens. Have they gone too early, though? That's the question. Are they going to have another opportunity to go out again? Or is that time going to be beaten? We're on board Pep at the moment. I'm going to jump on Pep for a flying lap when he gets round. He's on an out lap. We've got Falcon on an out lap. We've got T. Salmons on an out lap. And I know that Blade can improve on that time. So let's have a look to see if he can improve on that time. He's coming into sector 1 at the moment. It's 27.050 at the moment for his time. So let's have a look. Coming into turn 1, so turn 2, turn 3. Let's have a look. They need to be looking at that sector 1 time. Needs to be an improvement. Needs to be up or down. Let's have a look. Silence at the moment. He's up by a tenth, just under a tenth and a half. So good start for Blade. Now coming up to the windy loop here, where it does have the DRS zone going into the graveyard, which is this scary part of this track, which can either make your race or it can destroy your race. How is he going to take the graveyard? 2.5 tenths up. Blade's improving. Great improvement so far. Keeping it in there. Losing the back end a little bit. Coming out the graveyard. Could have lost maybe a tenth. or just under a tenth. Let's have a look. Coming into the new layout of the Melbourne Grand Prix, very nicely there, keeping it away from that curb, keeping it away from the curb in the last sector. Clean so far. Coming around, it's got 2 corners to go. One there, then the second one. It's power to the middle for the McLaren to cross the line down the main straight. What's it going to be? Is Evil Blade going to push up at the top? No, he doesn't. He pushes only into P11. It could be in serious trouble.
He's missed.
Ooh.
He's missed out by 5/1000ths of a second. Carly's ahead of him on a 3:10. Evil has done a 3:15, so he's not quite there. He's going to need to go again if he's got any shot of getting himself up into the top 10 and making it into Q3. So that was not the lap that he needed. It looked clean though, SJ, all the way around, really, really clean. So I'm surprised that there wasn't more time in that. And it looked like the body language of the car was showing some really nice turning, front end's gripping up as it's supposed to do. So I don't know where he's lost the time there.
Yeah, well, unless he can get round and he can get on none and he's put enough fuel in, or he's ran a little bit too much fuel to run again, he is going out. So Pep crossing the line. We were going to be on him earlier. We had to switch around. Pep in P8. Where is he at the moment? He goes pole! 125.387. That is a 10th in front of Master Suck. And the Mercedes are back. And Pep is back on P1 at the moment in Q2. What a lap from the Mercedes TP there, George. And we've lost George. Have you muted yourself, mate, with excitement?
I'll replace him at SJ.
Oh, we've got Panic. We'll be jumping on board with an interview in a sec, Panic. We'll just wait for you. I don't know where he's gone. We've lost him. Where's he gone? George, where have you gone, mate? You muted your mic. Mate. Oh, Dynasty Sparrow, P2, P1 for Mercedes. 25.4 and a 25.3. Oh, can the Astons bounce back from that? Does Evil Blade have enough in him to push even further through? He's done 26.1. Does he have any more in that car? Or is that it? Is it game over for McLaren? Are they going to be able to make it through? He's dropped down into P10. We've got Mudpack on an out lap. Sammy Slammer is on the lap at the moment. He's up on his time. And we've also got Hippie Slayer, who is out of quali.
Right.
Which is very unfortunate. And you're back.
I am back, yes.
What happened?
So something weird happened with my audio engine there. I didn't mute myself. I haven't got any of that hotkey, so I don't know what's happened there. Last few minutes here, of course, last people across the line for Q2. I was just about to say that time from Pep makes me think a lot about Master's mistake in turn 5 and how much time he lost sweeping across the track. But then Dynasty's come in and said, you know what? I'll take it away from you from a 100th of a second. Very nice.
Yeah, he has there, and there's still guys, still set times at the moment. I think Evil Blade is now coming around the last corner. He's got one more opportunity to try and get out of Q2. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. No, it's not. He is out. He is out of Q2. Both McLarens eliminated. One crashing and one eliminated. Out of Q2. Mudpack is the other one. Can he get through? We've also got Deadly Fuller as well. Mudpack, is he going to be able to make it? Actually, it's Deadly in front. So we're going to have Deadly and Mudpack.
Machado.
Oh, yep, he's gone. Pete Pole, it's 125.252. There we go. We've got Deadly Fuller coming around the last corner, 27%. It looks like he's slowing right down. He's slowing right down. Looks like he's out. Mudpack. Is Mudpack going to go through? No, Mudpack is out and Deadly is out. They slowed right down there. So very unusual to see that. And they are
very
out of Q2.
They are indeed very unusual. And we also saw Cooper the Bot having a little bit of a spin at the second to last corner. So he was on for another lap. He's managed to scrape on through. I just think, Cooper the Bot's been showing such good pace in these last couple of races, but they've all been in the dry. So I wonder if he's going to be right up there in this final Q3. We got a few minutes till we get there, but boy, oh boy, this is going to be a spicy Q3. We've had some great time set there, and as we sort of expected, SJ, just towards the end of Q2, the circuit starts to improve.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And we've got everyone in the 25s as well, which is really good to see. Unfortunately, we've lost Deadly, Blade, Mudpack, Hippie Slayer, and Panic. And we do have one into the comms box at the moment, which is Panic, and I'll take this one first, George. I think Panic. Not obviously the night that McLaren won already. Q2. Give us a bit of an insight. What happened, mate? It was a bad accident.
Oh, how you going? Great comms as usual. Just I don't know, a bit of bad luck at one of the I don't know. I think it's the Alpines. Yeah, obviously didn't see me coming out of turn 4 into turn 5. Obviously, I was going for my lap. I thought he was going to move. He didn't move. And I'm like, okay, I better back out. So as I let go accelerator to move, he's moved and touched the curb and I just pinned it. He just pretty much impeded the lap. He didn't see me coming at all, I think. Yeah, because he moved too late out from the apex, and then I tried to move around him, and it was just too late. It was too wet to correct the car.
Yeah, definitely, and especially at that speed as well.
So it was just unfortunate, mate.
Impeded.
I believe so, but we'll let the stewards deal with that.
Okay. Obviously,
I just didn't have a chance to move.
A little bit disappointing, and obviously I could probably definitely tell in your voice. But starting from probably P15, think you'd still be able to do some damage from the back.
Oh yeah, we'll bring it to the McLarens, to the Mercedes and the Astons today. Hopefully, I know we started from the back with a P12 and P15, but you never know what's going to happen in the race. You know, safety cars. Who knows what's going to happen? There's 29 laps, so I think we can still getting good points, both of us, me and Evil.
Okay, nice to go. I'll pass over to you, George. Have you got any questions for Panic?
Absolutely, Panic. Yeah, no, not the best one in Q2. Obviously, really unlucky. I was on board when that was going on, and it looked like the Alpine was maybe just not aware at all what was going on. Nonetheless, stewards will deal with it.
No, he wasn't.
What do you reckon? What he was on the apex while you were going a lot faster, and maybe the elevator music on. Anyway, nonetheless, I digress. The question I've got for you, mate, is what do you think your ultimate pace was there in Q2?
Oh, I could have definitely been up there with Dynasty and Pep. I believe I could have been up there with those boys. I know I had pace here. I know it's raining, but I definitely know that I got pace, especially late in Q2. The track warms up, and realistically probably a P5 for me, P5, P4, somewhere there, P6. But I'll be definitely up there with the fellas.
For sure. So obviously we've got 2 McLarens eliminated in Q2. What's the mentality? What's the mindset? What's the strategy going into the race now? I mean, you're starting from mid-pack, essentially. It does tend to change how you have to execute the strategy.
Well, we're going to try and do a bit of shake and bake, mate. If you're not first, you're last. So let's just get out there and smash it out.
Excellent. I love the enthusiasm. Go McLaren. We're biased here in the commentary box. I'm not even going to deny it anymore. Let's do it. Get out there and do well, Panic. Wishing the best of luck. I'm extremely biased. Well, I don't even bother hiding it anymore.
I'm the driver as well, but I have to be careful, otherwise I'm gonna get it in the neck.
Absolutely. I'll stop using the inclusive term "we" then. I'm biased.
All right, man. No worries. Thanks, fellas. I'll catch you after the race. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Good luck, Panic.
All right. Well, we'll have a bit of a touchdown. We've got 8 minutes to go in Q3. We'll have a little bit of a talk about what happened with the rest of the guys. Obviously, the other Kick Sauber obviously not making it through, but the other Kick Sauber making it through. Cooper Bott, you were talking about early on, saying been very impressive. Doesn't look confident in the car here in these wet conditions. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. And obviously, big drama. Losing both McLarens out in Q2, which is obviously the breaking news of the night. Both obviously McLarens out, and then obviously Deadly, Fuller, and Mudpack, the Ferrari and the Williams out. What's your take on the guys that have been eliminated?
Well, I mean, obviously, Panic had a lot of bad luck there. He had an Alpine in front of him. He got it all wrong on the exit of turn 5 and ended up spinning into the wall. So not much more to be said there. I'm a little bit surprised with Evil's pace. So he just wasn't able to hook up a proper lap. It looked clean, but there's clearly something missing from the car and the setup today. I don't know quite why that is. In terms of Deadly Fuller, was probably not expecting him to jump into Q3 just based on the pace from previous laps. But boy, oh boy, he had the opportunity to do it here in the wet, and he got a little bit unlucky as well ensure that. So, I think we've got the fastest top 10 at the moment in here, barring maybe Panic. So the lucky one, at least in my mind, getting into Q3 is actually Falcon. I mean, he's up there in the Alpine for one of the first times, like I can literally count it on my hands the number of times we've had Alpines in Q3. So Falcon's done very, very well today, generally speaking. Whether or not he had the ultimate pace to get into Q3, if Panic had been there, would he have been eliminated? Hard to say. Hindsight is 2020, of course. So Falcon's got a really good opportunity to put this Alpine in a good position to maybe convert that into some points over in the race. So that's excellent. But yeah, coming back to the point about Cooper, honestly, I don't think he's feeling comfortable in the wet. I don't think he's got the same pace that he is showing us in the dry here on these intermediate tyres. And obviously that's going to cost him in terms of a starting position. He's going to have a lot of fast drivers ahead of him. And if there's any kind of rain decision being needed to be made in the race, I think Cooper's going to probably struggle. So we may not see an easy Cooper win like we've seen in the last few races. We've got people in chat saying he might be a dark horse. I've got people in chat also saying that we should stop being so biased towards McLaren. So I don't know. Maybe I disagree with chat, SJ.
Yeah, probably. We might just disagree with chat just on this one. So 6 minutes to go. Predictions in. Who's going to take pole? Ricardo, Mastersuck, Wogjet, Falcon, Pep, Dynasty, Cooperbot, Sammy Slammers, or T Salmons, or Moontime. Moontime just going up to P5 there, so an improvement by them. The Astons are the team to beat. It looks like it. 25.022 with Ricardo, and Mastersucks to 25.217. He is 5 tenths quicker than Wogjet in P3, so there's a big jump between P2 and P3. We've also got the 2 Mercedes in P6 and P7. Probably, maybe old tyres. We'll have to wait and see there. 25.8 and a 25.9. You really want to be out the front. You don't really want to be in the mid-pack because you never know what can happen. But I reckon we still got opportunities here for some quick time still to come through. Can we get into the 24s? That would be the interesting thing to see. Talking about Cooperbot, he is on a lap at the moment. Let's just see what his Sector 1 and Sector 2 time is.
That's right. Let's have a little look. He's coming through the last couple of corners right now. Sorry, not couple of corners. He's coming through turn 3 and 4. So soon through 5, and that's where the timing is. Mastersuck immediately up into the 24s. He was on an absolute flyer, so he's done really, really well. Let's see what the time is going to be for the sector. It's pretty decent, but I think it's only an improvement on personal best, not a purple sector there. SJ, correct me if I'm wrong, of course. But yeah, Master at the moment, he's gone even faster. We've got cars in the 24s, and they are absolutely flying around the track. Let's see what Cooper can do into 11 and 12. Looks pretty good, I would have to say.
Yeah, it does look good, and there's obviously TP just putting in a little bit of a comment there. Cooper isn't too great in the wet, his own words. This one is also used tyres, so don't expect anything crazy. So he's going have a go on used tyres at the moment. We can see both Mercedes out as well, P6, P7. Actually not close together, so no toe looking to happen here on this lap, as Cooperbot not happy with that and going in. Mastersuck setting the time. I did say earlier on, are we going to see 24s? Yes, we are. 4 minutes in, and a 24.825 there for Mastersuck. Ricardo with a 25.022, and we've got Pep coming around on his flying lap. Can he cause a problem, knock Wogjet or Ricardo, or even take pole position going in to the Australian Grand Prix round number 9?
Yeah, different strategy being executed by the Mercedes. In Q2, they were absolutely committed to giving each other a slipstream through that high-speed sector between turn 9 and turn 11. Now they've seemed to have just said, look, let's go out on our own. We're seeing the Aston Martins. They're just going out on their own. They're using that clean air. It's clearly not worth it in these intermediate and tyres in these conditions to be in any kind of dirty air. So we can't get close enough to each other to really enable that slipstream to do anything valuable. So let's go out alone. Let's go out in the clean air and then just see what we can do in terms of challenging these Aston Martins, who at the moment are absolutely flying. I mean, the closest time there on the board right now is the Williams of Wogjet on a 25.7, which we know is not the ultimate pace of the guys like the Mercedes. We know Moontime can get close. He got into the 25 as well. Ricciardo goes even faster on a 124.7, so that is now a second clear to P3. Wogjet's time is looking slower and slower by the second, but only a few more corners before we see Pep come across the line, and this will be the real tell. Will Mercedes actually have the pace, SJ, to bring it to the Aston Martins today?
Yeah, it was 4 temps up, but Pep is losing that backhand. It looks like he's on an ice rink at the moment on that car. But here we go, coming down the main straight. Is he going to cause problems? Is he going to put in the 24s? No, he doesn't. Push to P3, 25.0933. Nowhere near the Astons tonight. He is nearly 4 temps slower than the Astons. What about his teammate in Dynasty? It looks like he's got it all
Invalidated.
wrong. He's actually invalidated. And this is a little bit of pressure for the Mercedes. He's going to go again with 65% ERS. That is not good. And this could be it for Dynasty. He may not even approve. We'll have to wait and see there. So Mercedes in a little bit of trouble at the moment. Too much pressure with the Astons.
Yeah, and exactly, and the thing is, the pressure just starts to amp up, and the mindset of a driver in these situations. Now you've only got one lap to do it. You know you're going to be underfueled, so to speak, on the ERS. You've not got the grip out there because that rear end is just stepping out on you constantly. So you've not got the confidence in the car. The car's not really set up for the lap, and still you've got to perform and put it somewhere close to the fastest time you may have ever done on intermediate tires on a wet circuit like this. To really get up there onto the top of the grid, you need to be in the 24s now. To get pole position, you need to be going around in a 124.714. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. So at the best here, Dynasty in a big slide as well. He's coming up to 13. So last few corners for the next Mercedes driver. We've got Wogjet still out there doing a lap. Moontime still on a lap. Cooper's still on a lap, though he's not managed to break that 26 barrier just yet. Neither has Sammy the Slammer or T. Salmons, the only Red Bull left. But right now, my eyes are actually not only on Dynasty Sparrow, the last couple of corners for him. Keep an eye on Falcon for the Alpine. He's up in the top 5. So Gangster was absolutely right. No, gets ejected out. It's P6. As we do see Moontime go P3. Dynasty Sparrow now across the line. What's it going to be? It's good enough for P5. So it's a Mercedes 4 and 5. But Moontime is absolutely smashing it. He's in P3.
Yeah, doing absolutely fantastic. Moontime, absolutely phenomenal tonight. The reserve driver in Ferrari doing a great job. Master Suck is going again. Moontime's going again. Pep is going again. Pep is up by a 10th. Pep could be drama here. We could see Pep take pole position. We'll have to wait and see here. We've still got Moontime as well. We've still got people on laps. Let's have a look at Wogjet. Wogjet's 4.5 temps up as well. So people are improving at the closing stages of Q3. There you go. There's the checkered flag. So Ricciardo is staying in P1 as it stands. It's a 1-2 for Aston. Wogjet coming around the final corner. Down the main straight. Burning as much ERS as he can. What's it going to be? Wogjet goes up to P5. Then we've got Cooper Bot coming across the line. What's it going to be for him? He stays P8 going up to P7. Then we've got Pep. Can Pep take pole position? And Australia! No! P3! What about T. Salmons? Crosses the line. P10. Master Suck.
Oh, Master!
With a 24.579. Moontime is in the pits. And Dynasty is going to have another go, but he hasn't got enough ERS. Falcon is down on his time. Sammy the Slammers could be another opportunity. What's it going to be for Slammer? What's it going to be? P3!
Wow!
Drops Pep down to P4. Drama tonight in Australia. But the double for Aston Martin, George. Phenomenal by the Aston Martin team.
Superfluous by Master Suck right at the end there on that last lap at 124.5, puts himself nearly a 10th up above his teammate Ricciardo, who's been so dominant in the qualifying all the way through the sessions. And Pep there also not making it up onto the top row of the grid. But Sammy the Slammer, he is going to be elated with that lap. It's a 24.9. One of 4 drivers to make it in there, and in a Haas as well. Hats off to Sammy the Slammer. What an absolutely brilliant lap. Chaos and hectic nature of Australian qualifying in the wet on these intermediate tyres. Absolutely pure entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. That was a very, very interesting and fun qualifying there. Master Suck and Ricciardo taking the full lockout there. 50 people tuning in as well for watching this, even though the race is about to start in 5 minutes for China. So please do not give us any spoilers. But Master Sucks, Ricciardo taking out P1, P2. Sammy the Slammers going up into P3. Then Pep, Moontime, Wogjet, Dynasty, Cooper Bot, Falcon, and T. Salmons ran out. What a Q3 And what a race we have got on our hands. Is it dry? Is it wet? That's the question, George.
Oh, that is the question. This is the age-long question. Will there be a change of weather mid-race as well? What's it going to do? Is it going to be overcast? Is it going to be sunny? Or we are going to find out in a few moments' time. It is dry out there, SJ, but boy, oh boy, that is an overcast sky. There could be rain on the way. So some big decisions that will have to be made by all of our drivers today. We've got the McLaren starting from the mid-pack. We've got an Alpine down the bottom. I've had a game crash, so I'm going to restart that and get back in as soon as I possibly can. And you'll have to take the race start, SJ.
Yeah, I will do indeed. Let me know when you're back in and I'll send you an invite. Well, I'll do it now.
Will
very
do.
Quickly. But you're there.
Should be there as soon as I'm in.
Let me see if I can get you one.
But yeah, this is going to be a fantastic start. I'm super excited for this race.
You're not there. Oh, there we go. We've got 5 red lights and we are about to get underway. And here we go for round number 9 of the Melbourne Grand Prix. And Master Sachs and Ricardo taking into P1, P2. No changes there. Everyone getting through. We've got battles going on already. Cooper Bot and Wogjet going side by side. And then we've got Dynasty up into P6. Wogjet down into P7. Cooper Bot into P7. Wogjet into P8. Things are changing. No one changing. Wogjet now down into P8. Cooper Bot into P7. No incidents earlier on. Panic up into P14. Blade up into P12 at the moment. A little bit of drama going on very early on there, but no one out of this race. Everyone through, all the way through there. Hippie Slayer dropping all the way down into P15 now, having a nice little battle against the Ferrari of Mudpack very early on. Uncle Morty and Flying Kiwi going at it as well at the back as the Haas loses out there to the Red Bull. And that is it at the moment. Lap 1 out of 29, and Master Sack and Ricardo are leading this race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and doing a very good job of it as well. Keep a close eye on what Sammy the Slammer is going to be able to do. Please send me an invite when you can. I will double check that in a few moments' time. But yeah, a few people losing out early on in this race, and that is going to be a tricky situation for them. They've got 29 laps ahead of us, overcast here in Australia today. So keep a close eye. It's going to be exciting.
Just sent you an invite in there. Mudpack and Flying Kiwi. Mudpack dropping down into P18 there. Evil Blade down into P13. Panic up into P12. Switcheroo there for the McLaren. Here go the McLaren. P13. Panic is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 places away from Dynasty and 7, 8 away from Pep. And anything can happen in this race, as we have seen here. Overcast conditions. Very, very, very dark. And Gangster getting his elbows out there on Blade. And we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But Evil Blade at the moment stuck behind Gangster. Gangster now making his move on Panic. Panic making his move on Falcon. Look at this. It's an Alpine and McLaren battle tonight.
Yeah, it sure is, and not the battle that we were expecting to have, as the McLaren do at the moment seem to be falling behind. Falcon is, though, did really well in qualifying, obviously got to Q3, has fallen down a lot, lost 2 positions already in this race. Possible strategies today, medium to hard or a double stop. Medium, and then hard. Suspect we'll probably see people try that one stop. That is going to be the way to go. Wogjet also losing 2 positions, and Master, of course, at the beginning of this race, lost the lead early on to Ricciardo. Not ideal for him, but Sammy the Slammer still holding strong, and I'm absolutely in the box for this man today. What a qualifying result for him, and 3rd place currently. Having to hold off Pep, that is not easy, but it's the first time this race tonight where these guys have actually had a chance to get onto the medium tyres.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see when these guys are going to pit, because remember, the mediums are not a very good tyre here. Tyre wear is an issue here at Australia. I do not know what the tyre wear is going to be like in cold conditions, because it does look cold. It doesn't look like your normal glaze of sunshine as we see in Melbourne. But it is not at the moment. It looks cold, looks overcast. Do we have rain? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see if we get some comments coming in. But at the moment, we've got Sammy Slammer looking to make a move on one of the Astons. Oh, yep, he's going to go for the move. No, shuts the door there. Good play there by the Astons. Shutting the door, hurting the Haas driver there of Sammy the Slammer. And, if the Astons play this well, they've got this in the bag tonight. They look so quick, so good, and what a position to be in. P1, P2. Sammy the Slammer, though, has got Pep right behind him, and he's closed the gap. Pep has actually made a bit of a leeway through on Moontime there. Was 8.5 tenths, now 6.5 tenths. And Dynasty trying to forces wave there, a little bit too eager. Do not want to get too eager and lose your front wing there, George.
Yeah, no, you do not want to be getting damage early on in this race, and Dynasty's just going to have to sit back and be a little bit more patient. Wogjet's behind them as Cooper the Bot. Cooper the Bot obviously up one position already in this race, dry conditions. He'll be absolutely loving the fact that we're back to dry conditions and not in the wet any longer. Whether that hope will remain true throughout the race, we shall see. But Sammy the Slammer is going to have to do a lot of work here if he's going to try and get through this wall of Aston Martins ahead of him, especially with Pep challenging him from the back. But it's Aston's race to lose at the moment. A little bit of argy-bargy between the two teammates at the top of the field at the beginning, as we see another 3-second time penalty being applied. Falcon getting one, and also flying Kiwi early in this race. Ricciardo now making it back up into P1, so they're actually being allowed to go racing. I don't know if this is going to affect their ability to defend, and now we've got Sammy the Slammer right on the rear wing of Master. Master's been compromised through 11 and 12, and Sammy's going to go up into P2. It's a great overtake into 13. Excellent work, but he's actually cooked it on the exit. Master's going to come back into him on 14, but has to pull out. There's no space there, so that's a secured position in P2 for Sammy the Slammer, and the Haas is up into the second position in the grid right now, SJ.
Yeah, but that's helped out Ricciardo there, because now Ricciardo is he was 1.1 in front. There's no DRS for Sammy Slammer, so he's going to have to get back into the DRS there. Masterstuck has helped out his teammate a little bit. Got back to the back of Sammy the Slammer there. Pep and Dynasty together at P4 and P5 as Masterstuck goes for the move on the right hand side, and Sammy Slammer doesn't get the job done, loses out there. Cooper Bot though loses out to Moontime. They're having a nice little battle there. Do not want to be side by side. Oh, Cooper Bot goes across the grass and keeps it there. Nicely done. Moontime drops down into P7, loses the back end there though a little bit. The tyres starting to feel off now. Are we seeing Panic up to P11? Gangster and Falcon in P14 and P15. Uncle Morty in 15th. Evil Blade up in the 13th. We're seeing Drama up the front. We're seeing Master Suck back out in front of the Haas driver of Sammy Slammer now. And now he's got Pep and Dynasty to deal with. Cooper Bot down there in P6. And Pep looking ready to make the move there. So is Dynasty ready to make moves. People getting a little bit too eager. It's a long way to go in this race at the moment. Panic not making much groundwork at the moment. Needs to get past into Deadly, because otherwise it looks like it could be an unfortunate evening, because Deadly is 2.8 seconds behind Salmons.
That's right. Yeah, the Falcon's not having a great time there, Alpine. He's losing position after position at the moment. And Panic with a 3-second time penalties are already hitting their track limits. It's that 11-turn complex, SJ. That seems to be catching nearly everyone out so far. 3 drivers with 3-second time penalties on the grid already, and Panic is up 5 places. So this is a real disaster for him. We know he's got the pace and he's got a lot of work to do in this race, and that 3-second time penalty just taking out of his ability to recoup positions and get some points from McLaren today. Wogjet still losing positions, hand over fist, unfortunately for him, and back on board the battle at the top. I mean, we've got the 2 Mercedes now fighting as well. Dynasty Sparrow trying around the outside of Pep, does get it done. Beautiful work there by Dynasty, and Pep has to be happy now with P5. Sammy the Slammer still in a bit of trouble because Dynasty Sparrow has actually leapfrogged right there, and yes, Evil Blade gone.
Evil Blade is out. We've got a safety car, and Dynasty may have to hand that position back. I do not know if he's overtaken Sammy the Slammer.
That was pretty close. It was pretty close. I mean, he got an absolutely whopping slipstream effect on Sammy the Slammer. We see a couple of people driving into the pits already. So Ricciardo, Master, Dynasty is staying out. And we've got Sammy the Slammer in, Pep in, Cooper the Bot in, Moontime, Salmons, Wogjet, Panic, Deadly Fella all into the pits for a change of tyres.
Just finding out from the onboard steward if Dynasty has to hand the position back.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, it was very, very close. I think Dynasty might just have to get that back, because he was just crossing the front wing of Salmons as that yellow flag came out. Happened behind them. Just seemed to be a bit of a problem for Evil Blade there through the high-speed section up to turn 11. And he was stopped on track just on the right-hand side. So don't know what's gone on there, but he's clearly had a massive mistake. Whether there was contact with another driver or not, I don't know. Could well have been someone in that top bottom 5, but we shall see. We shall see. Might well have been Wogjet as well. We're not even sure. I've no idea, but the stewards will figure that one out as we head and get closer to the safety car. So do we have a word on Dynasty Sparrow and handing back that position? How's that going to work now that Sammy has pitted?
I'm just going to have... Well, he might just
Yep,
5-second time penalty, unfortunately.
He may well do, yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see what happens there, because it was very, very, very close on the yellow flag.
Indeed.
There. So we'll have to wait and see. But shocking there, unfortunately, for Evil Blade out of this race. It's gone. It's basically swung around from last week. We saw obviously Dynasty Sparrow out last week in Abu Dhabi, and obviously both McLarens finishing high. This week it's one of the McLarens out this week, and both Mercedes still in this race. Question is though, this will be the interesting one: is it too early for those hards?
Yeah, well, that is the question. I mean, given that it's overcast on circuit, we don't know what the track's going to do later in this race. I mean, 22 laps on the hards, it's totally doable. But the question is, are you going to be left behind by some of the medium runners who are still out there? Dynasty's going to have a great launch. And then there's 2 Alpines in there on these medium tyres. So the top 3, all on those mediums still. And then it's Ricciardo. Now, we know Ricciardo's got a ton of pace, and he will have good pace on those hards as well. Will he be held up, though, by Gangster and Falcon? This could let Dynasty just start to slip away with things at the front, SJ.
The problem is, as we saw earlier on with the Astons, that they actually, Masterset was 1.5 seconds behind his teammate. So the Astons checked out. They, Sammy Slammer was out of the DRS. And yeah, this has obviously brought everyone back, which is very interesting. Obviously, Dynasty, Gangster, and Falcon are going to have to pit. I don't think you're going to see them do many laps on these mediums. I reckon maybe 2-3 and they'll come in. They do not want to lose out too much, because now everyone on the hard is on the better tyre for the remainder of this race.
Correct, and of course they'll have time advantage given that we're sitting now behind a safety car, so any pace advantage or advantage in race time is now absolutely gone. Safety car coming in this lap, so Dynasty will be in control of the restart as we head towards turn 13. And yeah, I think you're absolutely right there, SJ. I think for those top 3 on the mediums, yes, they'll have to come in soon, and with the field all bunched up as it is right now, they're going to be losing so many positions, and that's going to be really, really painful for Dynasty, who was really in contention for a top 3 finish today, given the way things were going. He had a great slipstream run on Sammy the Slammer. He had a great slipstream run on his teammate Pep. Everyone now trying to warm those tyres up, get it into a situation where they're going to have a comfortable race start. Where does he launch it, though? That's the question. 10-second penalty for severe collision between Moontime and Salmons. With a 10-second time penalty, that is absolutely massive.
Yeah, and Panic's right behind that as well, so he needs to be very, very careful. And he's only got 1-2 spots in front before Pep there, and this is going to hurt Dynasty massive in this race. Message from the onboard
trigger's been pulled.
Doesn't need to hand the position back, but will be looked at by an onboard report. If he has overtaken under yellow flags, will be given a 5-second time penalty. So Dynasty is being investigated as we speak, which is probably not good news for him. But Gangster and Falcon, would you believe it? Both Alpines in P2 and P3, George.
Yep, absolutely. It's definitely a sight to behold, that's for sure. Everyone red flag the race right now. Take the results as they are. That'll be what the Alpine team is keen to see. A bunch more 3-second time penalties coming out into the field. So everyone running afoul of those time penalties today. And you can see Dynasty completely checked out by 2 seconds already. And it is the Alpines that are holding up the field right now. Ricciardo trying to find a way past desperately. He's got 1. Can he get 2 in short order? This is obviously the long straight now down towards 11. There's an opportunity on the inside potentially for Ricciardo. Will he be brave enough to try? He's trying the outside. That's scary territory, but you can see he's got the pace at the moment, and he will find a way past in short order. Coming into 13 right now. Falcon losing position after position. You can see that these tyres of the mediums not in a great shape. That was big contact, actually. That's Ricciardo taking a huge amount of speed into 14, and he's actually made contact with the rear wing of Gangster. So Gangster's going to be in a bit of trouble there, as will Ricciardo for that, because he's actually caused some damage to both cars. And we've got another safety car. Something's happening behind. I think it's Deadly Fuller.
Yeah, no, Falcon.
And Falcon's out.
Falcon's lost it. He's gone into the wall. More
My
drama.
goodness.
A little bit of drama going on there. I don't know what.
Well, it wouldn't be an Australian Grand Prix without it.
Well, a little bit of silly driving there because you're on the slow tyres. You know, you've got the guys behind you on very, very better tyres, trying to get the move done, and the guy just comes across and Master Sucks and spins himself. So I don't see that being anything other than a racing incident there, unfortunately. But I don't know. We'll have to see what the stewards say. I don't know why you're coming over onto the other person's racing line when they're coming through. That's just, yeah, you're asking for trouble. You're asking for a T-bone there straight away. But this is Hurt Dynasty again. On lap 10, now has Ricciardo behind him, Cooper Bott, and obviously Gangster there in P4, but will obviously pit. And I would pit. I would not mess around now. I'd pit. Doesn't matter. Backtrack.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can't push those mediums anymore. You do not want to push them. But interesting. 2 guys out. And we've got 1 more driver out of the points, and then we've got everyone in the points. So, yeah. 2 safety cars in the space of 2-3 laps.
That's right. It's been pretty spicy, and I do note that the overcast clouds have disappeared. Out comes the sun. Sunny Melbourne, or averagely sunny Melbourne, I should say, returns to sunny conditions. So unlikely that we'll see any kind of wet weather running later today unless the conditions rapidly change at the end of this race, which they may well do, but we shall see. I think Dynasty's in a world of hurt right now. Is he going to pit? He is. There's no other option there, SJ. That's the only thing he can do. He's already lost all those positions. Time to take the short pit stop before the safety car ends, put on those hards and go to the end.
Yeah, very unfortunate there. He's going to be at the back of the pack, and this is not what he wants. But he's going to be on fresher tyres. Yeah, I don't really know how this race is going to end up because I still think these guys earlier on have gone on these hards too early.
Well, this could be it. I mean, maybe towards the end, Dynasty's going to have that pace on the slightly fresher hard tyres, and maybe that'll work out for him. We'll just have to wait and see, really.
Comes out another safety car, then what? You know, you can go back onto the mediums. You know, you can't go on the softs. You can't go on the softs here. This is a medium or hard strategy, right. So, you know, and the medium's only going to go, what, 9 to 10, 9 to 11? Yeah. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting race for Dynasty at the back there. Now he's got Deadly and Flying Kiwi to get through, and these guys have got their tyres up to 10. They're up to 10. They're ready to go. You know, Dynasty's tyres are going to be cold for the next couple of months. So, you know, it's an interesting. Going to be an interesting end to this race, and the safety car in already. Look at that.
Wow. Okay. So, Rich. Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, Ricciardo is going to obviously lead us away, and he will pull the trigger heading up towards 13. Now, we did see Dynasty pull the trigger just as he entered, just before 14. Caught a couple of people napping in that situation. Ricciardo might be thinking to do the same. He's got his teammate Master 3 positions behind him. Gangster still in there, so that's really the cork in the bottle right there with the Alpine in P3, still on those medium tyres. Cooper the Bot, though, up into P2. What good work he has done. Struggled in the wet on qualifying. He's made up a bunch of positions throughout this race and now finds himself in the box seat. And Ricciardo has pulled the trigger. He's away into 15 we go. And it's a good run through there. He's got the run on Cooper the Bot. So this is a great start. This is exactly what you want if you're Ricciardo in that Aston Martin, putting on nearly 0.6 of a second on Cooper the Bot already. And I can see that Master is eager, very, very eager to get past Gangster as soon as possible and help his team out in a battle that we know has not swung Ricciardo's way in the past.
Yeah, here we go. They're going side by side. That Alpine's in serious trouble. I wouldn't battle. I would just let him go. You're on extremely old medium tyres, and you're going to... Look, he just made that look too easy. He's lost a bit of time, though. 1.1. But Aston Martin are going to be happy with this. P1 and P3. Absolutely fantastic performance so far. Gangster is going to get... He's going to get swallowed up here. Those tyres are not going to be able to turn We could see a third safety car if he doesn't keep it clean coming out of graveyard there. Nicely done on 11 laps. So, yeah, the question is when's he going to pit? And he's hurting Sammy's race here big time. Sammy just can't get through. He's going to go to the left, go to the right. Pep now getting involved. Sammy goes around the outside. Oh, that's dangerous. Pep goes around the outside as well. Does Gangster let him? Yes, he does. The Mercedes gets through. The Ferrari's trying to get through. Gangster moves over. Uncle Morty's gone around. Someone's happened. A bit of an incident at the back there. It's too wide. Each side-by-side action there. Dynasty goes round on the outside and says, thank you very much. I'll have both of those positions up in a P14. Great drive there by the Mercedes. Some of the moves that are happening here, it's like, do not make a move there. But they are risking it. They are risking it for the biscuit. And look at that. Oh, Salmons hits the side of Gangster there. And I'm surprised he's still got both of those plates. He has dropped from P3 to P8 in 1 lap.
Oh, this is so painful to watch for the Alpine of Gangster. I mean, his teammates out of this race with a DNF. He's trying to hold on to whatever positions he can, but he's going to be dead last when he comes into the pits. So we shall see. Now we've got some of this slower trying around the outside of Pep. He's going to get that done beautifully as we head into 11.
Oh, he's just smashed into Wogjet, and Wogjet's lost his front wing. Gangster. Oh, he's then been hit by the other. They're hitting. They're playing dodgems, side-by-side action at the moment. Gangster needs to get that car into the pits, man. It's just not helping. Look at this. Got side-by-side action. Someone on the gravel. Oh, it's all over the place at the moment. Australia is definitely giving us drama there. But Wogjet's lost his front wing due to Gangster moving over. And that's so unfortunate there. And he's into the pits. And that's not going to help him into the pits. And onto what tyres? Because the mediums, he's going to have to pit again.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that's just a disaster, and he's called it all wrong, unfortunately, this time. They should have been in. Dynasty making a mistake as well, technically speaking, but he's back up to P10 already. Just manages to overtake Carly on track. The kick Sauber falling to P11. So Dynasty's doing well on these slightly fresher hards, but yeah, Dynasty made the right call to come in after that first safety car. But yeah, the Alpine's not doing the same and getting absolutely eaten by the field. I mean, I've seen birds eat grain slower than that. It's just unbelievable. We've basically seen someone getting eaten up in half a lap from being P3 to absolutely at the bottom of the field, and that's really unfortunate. I do feel sorry for him, but at the end of the day, strategy call was just wrong.
Yeah, it is. You do not stay out on old tyres like that and battle against people on very, very fresh hard, especially when there's hardly any grip. It's a learning curve. They'll be hit by the stewards hard, and it's a learning curve. And yeah, Rekus is right. How is no one DNF there? It's beyond me. It's beyond me as well. But we've still got a race on our hands. And this man has been extremely quiet and apparently been struggling. Cooper Bott, 4.5 tenths behind Ricciardo.
Yeah, I mean, he's right there. This has been a fantastic drive from Cooper so far. The rest of the P3, P4, P5 have been battling it out. Actually costing themselves a lot of time. The only other person there who's not been costing himself time has been Master, but he's out of DRS range for Cooper, so can't help out Ricciardo defend that P1 position with 14 laps to go. So this is a tricky situation for Ricciardo. He's just got to keep his head down, keep putting in the good laps. We know how consistent he can be, but the question is, can he match the pace of Cooper when DRS is enabled? That is going to be the real question. Into 11 we go at the top of the field, and Ricciardo still holding on to that advantage, but it's going to keep cutting out of it, and Cooper keeps taking tenths here, tenths there. DRS is enabled again. Defensive line from Ricciardo cuts the nose of Cooper as they head through 13. Great defensive work by Ricciardo, but Cooper's on an absolute charge right now, and I just don't know. I think it's becoming a bit of a when not if situation, SJ.
Yeah, he's going to go for the move, but the thing is, you want to really save your tyres because he knows that those tyres are going to be really hurting near the end there, and Dynasty's in a really good position. He's up in the P9 at the moment on 4 laps. 4 laps fresher than anyone else's. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to go. But if he can stay with Ricardo, as Ricardo makes a little bit of a mistake there, he's got a massive opportunity of winning this race. The question is, does Ricardo try and hold Cooper up a little bit and bring Master Suck into this battle as well? That's going to be the easy one, because the problem is Pep's 2.8 seconds behind Master Suck, so there's a bit of a gap there.
Yeah,
so he can afford to
that's
do
right.
it. He can afford to do it.
Yeah, exactly. We've had a request for Cooper onboard lap redemption in chat, so we'll get that sorted, Wreckers.
I'm on it already.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's gonna. You're absolutely right. It's gonna be a tricky one. I think it's so difficult to hold people up, though. I mean, at a typical circuit, we've got a few more corners that are a lower speed. You can kind of just sit on the apex a little bit more, but all these corners here are medium to high speed, and it's a wide track, SJ. So I don't know if he starts to slow down to really help Master get back up into this fight. I think he's just going to be overtaken by Cooper.
Yeah, but he's going to do it. He's going to have to do it very strategically. He's going to have to bring that car down into none in certain areas that Cooper can't make the moves down. It's 1.9 at the moment. Pep's actually losing time on Master Suck. He was 2.8, so it's now 3.3, so he's actually losing time. And Sammy Summers has actually got a penalty, so Pep's in a great position of in that P4 at the moment as it stands, because Sammy, Salmons, Panic, and Moontime have all got pens, and Dynasty's 3.4 seconds behind Moontime, actually losing time on Moontime. So, this is an interesting race, a very interesting race. He's on 6 lap fresher top, he's on 6 laps to 10, and he's losing time on PA. Like, how does that work? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
I don't know either. I mean, oh no. Okay, there we go. So it's 6 seconds for him now. So Dynasty effectively up into P5 at the moment and just behind his teammate, given how close these guys are all on track, and 10 seconds of penalty for T Salmons, even though he has just made a move on Panic. And also Pep getting involved in that. What's happening there? Let's have a quick look. No, I think that might just be Pep is having an issue.
Oh, he's had an issue. Yeah, he has. He's had a big issue. And Panic's gone past, and he's lost the front right plate. Oh, the Mercedes have had a bit of a drama there, so he's dropped down into P7, and that is his race done. Unless he pits, he's going to struggle in Australia losing the front right plate. He's really going to struggle. Moontime will swallow him
I was
up.
just about to say, Division 4 always brings us the action. We do have a yellow. That is a Haas on the exit of turn 15. It's Gangster. No, it's not. I'm absolutely wrong.
Kiwi in the house.
It is, yes.
I think we may see him go to the mediums or retirement. Uncle Morty just getting a penalty as well. Oh, we got drama. We got drama going on in this race. We could see. No, he's out. He's decided to call it. That's unfortunate for Kiwi.
That is unfortunate.
So everyone will get points.
SJ, Division 4 always shows us a real good show. This has been absolutely frantic, though. I have to admit, Division 4 has been super exciting, but this is almost too much. It's so much going out on track. I just don't know where to look. I don't know what to see, because we're seeing absolutely everything.
Yeah, well, T Salmons is the one to watch out for the moment, because he's flying. He's down into P4. 6 spots and Cooper Bot, and those two at the moment would be my driver of the days. Cooper Bot and T Salmons driving a fantastic drive so far. Ricardo doing a great job out there in P1 at the moment, but still in the DRS of Cooper Bot, hasn't lost him yet. Master Suck 2.9. If the safety car comes out now, it is going to change the whole dynamics of this race. And the question is, Dynasty is still 3.9 seconds behind Moontime. Moontime is behind Pep, though, and Panic is behind Sammy Slammers. Oh, Sammy Slammers!
Oh, Sammy's gone!
Sammy Slammers loses it and really goes into the front of the Panic. That was extremely careful there. Panic had to move out the way, and has he got damage on that car? No, he hasn't. He's managing to keep it. Well, that was a brown. Brown alert moment, wasn't it?
Oh, that was 100% code brown. I mean, Sammy was just on the inside there. I don't know what he thought was going to happen, but it ended up in the result that we've just seen on screen. And Sammy, what has been a fantastic qualifying, a fantastic race for this man. He's thrown it all away in turn 1 with a move that he probably didn't need to make. because he was in a great slipstream. There's people with penalties all around. You could have just waited out a little bit on these hard tyres. 10 laps to go, and he's now found himself down on P9. He's got damage on the car. Mudpack now attacking him. He's going to lose the position to Mudpack as well. And then suddenly there's Carly there too. So, Sammy, I'm absolutely mortified. What could have been one of the best results of the season so far for Haas has turned into a disaster.
Yeah, they're battling, and he's got damage. He's really trying to hold on. He's forcing Mudpack off track. There's a lot of driving going on here, which is incidents waiting to happen. Moontime up in a P7, Pep in a P7, Dynasty in a P8.
Cooper P1.
Panic at the moment is riding in P4 if he can make the gap on Pep. And that's going to be the question.
And a change for the lead.
Has 10 seconds, so Salmons is not my driver of the day with that pen. It's definitely Cooper Bott, who is actually in the lead of this race. Wow.
Yeah, so we just had the switch around, and I believe that was done at turns 4 and 5. So it was a nice move sweeping back for Cooper Bott, and he's absolutely done super, super well. We've got another redemption for an onboard view with Cooper, so we guess we will get that done as soon as possible. Ricciardo now, so losing that position. We saw this, I think it was Zolder the last time we saw these two really having an epic battle. Cooper was just so much faster through there, and Ricciardo tried to do his best to defend. Here in Australia, you know, Ricciardo's had super, super good pace, but boy, oh boy, Cooper's just unstoppable in the dry at the moment in Division 4. And a comment of the night from Rekes coming in chat. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. So it is a disaster. It's also a disaster for the McLarens and the Alpines, all three of which have got a car out at the moment. Alpine also in P15 with Gangster. Luckily for Panic and McLaren, he's up in P5, but with a 3-second time penalty, and the two Mercedes still within that gap. So the question is going to be, will Pep end up coming into the pits?
Yeah, and there you go. Look, Pep has lost 2 seconds to Moontime. That is music to Panic's ears, because he's got Dynasty behind him with 1.2 and he's gaining. He's got 4-lap fresher tyres. So if Panic continues and gets the job done on T Salmons, he's up for a P4 position, which is a fantastic job from the McLaren driver. He'll be over the moon, but Salmons is not making this easy. He's going to go around the outside. Is Panic going to go for the moon? No, he doesn't. Just keep it clean, keep it clean. No, he's going to stay with it. Moontime's going to get involved, but Moontime does have a few penalties, but he's going to go for the move on Panic. Oh! Yes, the side of him. Oh, come on, Moontime, come on. Think about it, think about it. Pep wait for Dynasty so they can DRS swap. Yep, I thought that was going to be the case. Yeah, Dynasty is on the patrol here, and we have a...
it's a Ferrari.
To the wall. And that's no safety car. That would be amazing to see a safety car now, because it would be mediums and it would be going to the end. But let's have a look at the front at the moment. Cooper Bott and Ricciardo still at it. Master Sucks has made a little bit of time on his teammate there, but not too much. The viewers keep going from 50 to 30 to 30 to 50 to 50 to 30. Make up your mind, guys. We know the Chinese Grand Prix is on at the same time. T Salmon's there in P4, Panic in P5. Just needs to be patient. Take his time. Evil Blade, do not leave the session because you are the host. So hopefully we don't lose the session, because that's not what we want now.
Oh dear, Ricciardo takes the lead again. Good slipstream and usage from P10-11.
He's got it! Up in a P4! Let's go, Papaya!
Yes, let's go, McLaren. Oh my goodness. Yeah, blinking, you'll miss it, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you can always replay Formula One, but this is the live action. This is the real excitement here, SJ. I'm sure you'll agree with that.
Yes, I'm just letting the host know. Please say that was you being booted and you not leaving.
Fingers are indeed crossed. We're keeping an eye on the battle at the moment. So Ricciardo back up into the lead of this race, and actually it looks like there was a brief mistake there from Cooper the Bott. He fell behind a fair bit, still within slipstream range though, so these two will be exchanging positions all the rest of the race. It is lap 23 of 29. 6 laps to go after this one is complete, and through 4 and 5 we go with the leaders, and looks like Panic is still under attack from T Salmons. Moontime not able to get involved in this scrap just yet, but guess who is lurking in behind? It is done Dynasty Sparrow got the slingshot with Pep. So Pep now having to struggle through the remainder of this race with the front wing damaged. And Dynasty Sparrow is only a second off the back of Moontime. He'll get the slipstream. He'll get the DRS open. He'll be in this battle sooner than Moontime will have been expecting. And that means for Panic and Salmons and Moontime, with those penalties, they will be in big, big trouble stations. And Panic now needs to build a gap.
Yeah, he definitely does. You can see there. But Dynasty, you know, it's gonna be difficult to get past Moontime. It's not gonna be easy. He's not gonna make it easy. He didn't make it easy against Panic. Then he actually drove into the side of him. So yeah, I think Pep's race. I don't think Pep is gonna be able to try and hold on to the back of Dynasty. He's gonna try and do as much as he can. He's gonna need to because they have no penalties. But with that damage to that car, you can see that he's nearly at the DRS already, so he's really struggling at the moment. But news here, Ricciardo has dropped Cooper Bott from the DRS. So Cooper Bott is now only 1.1. Sammy Summers is out of this race, and he's returning the points. Sorry, I thought that was on the track. I was like, oh, okay, so that's both passes with nil points.
Wow, it is a disaster. It is an absolute disaster. It's just, I mean, it's gone from elation at the end of qualifying. Yeah,
get to the chopper.
It's gone from elation. Yeah, it's a disaster. So he needs to get out of there. Jokes aside, whether you think it's a Toto Wolff impression or a Schwarzenegger impression, no, Mikey, no. Anyway, we've broken the commentary box completely. Salmons has actually gained the position against Panic again. Moontime's trying. He's absolutely bended into the wall. Oh my goodness, Moontime. He's actually somehow kept it going. I don't know. We've had 3 or 4 accidents, SJ. How has this not been a safety car? I am so surprised. There's too much to talk about right now. This is absolutely mental stuff in Division 4.
Oh, there we go. We've got Dynasty and Moontime. Moontime has actually given free reign to Dynasty down the main straight because he's gone into the pits. So that is not...
Yeah, front wing is gone.
That is not going to be music to Panic's ears because he's 1.5 behind him. He's actually gone softs. He's gone softs. So he's obviously going to go for the fastest lap. Absolutely insane here. And Panic is doing his best to get past T. Salmons. He's got past him once before. But the thing is, Pep is still holding on to this. Mercedes look like they are going to make it through just.
And this is a huge blow to Aston Martin, who were thinking for a lot of this race, we're going to get a bunch of points, and this will be a good way to catch up to the Mercedes chaps. Yeah. But both of them, with Pep being pulled along in the slipstream by Dynasty, which is a super 5,000 IQ move, they're going to be ahead of both Panic and T. Simmons. They'll be looking at a P4, P5, which seriously damages the amount of advantage that Aston Martin are going to get out of this race, even if Ricciardo wins, even if Master Suck is able to get past Cooper Bott, which is looking unlikely at this stage of the race. They are not going to get the points advantage that they thought they were going to get this race.
Yeah, no, that's it's really unfortunate at the moment. We've got a yellow. Is there more drama in this race at the end there? Gangsters lost it, and he's going to be right out in the way of the leaders. Is there more drama in this race? There's 3 laps to go. I don't think we are going to get a safety car, but I have seen a safety car come out with 3 laps to go. We'll have to wait and see. Cooper Bott looks like he's not going to be able to get Ricciardo. And it looks like Ricciardo has got this in the bag. Cooper Bott at the moment, well, just looking at driver of the day, who is your driver of the day?
I don't even know. I've been so stressed. I think driver of the day is going to be given to the person who's induced the least amount of heart attacks in me this race. So I have to think about exactly who that's going to be. I think actually driver of the day here for me today is probably going to be Ricciardo. He's run a really good race at the moment. I think he's in a stunning position. Did really well in qualifying. Showed pace in the wet. Showed pace in the dry. Ricciardo's my driver of the day.
Okay, well there you go, guys. We're going to probably have this to a 3-way vote here. Comms driver of the day, George, is going for George. There we go. Is going for Ricciardo. I'm going for.
Cooper's got a 3-second penalty. This is huge. So Cooper's made a huge mistake somewhere on that lap. He's dropped 3 seconds behind Ricciardo and a 3-second penalty to his name. Master Suck is only 2 seconds behind him. This is massive change up for the race, and Aston Martin may be looking at a 1-2.
Yeah, well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Comms driver of the day is George's Ricardo. Mine is Cooper Bott. Feel free to put your votes in as well. We'll give it one lap to see who you put your names in, who you think driver of the day is. But yes, more drama in this race. 27 laps out of 29. Ricardo leading the way. Cooper Bott, 3-second time penalty. That brings Master Suck for a P2 in this race. A double for Aston, and Panic also could have a podium if things change. If Dynasty does get that 5-second time penalty for overtaking a safety car. So still opportunity here for Panic to still get P3, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. But at the moment, it's been a fantastic race. It's been drama to the max. Okay, Ricardo.
I think we need to rename the Australian Grand Prix. It's the Drama Grand Prix at Albert Park 2025, because it's just been all action. It's been all go. Since lap 1, we've absolutely seen some of the craziest action we've seen in Division 4 this season so far. It's been brilliant to watch, don't get me wrong. I'm absolutely loving it, but so many things chopping and changing throughout the race. I wouldn't even have a hope to keep keeping up with this if I was an engineer or a driver. Luckily, I get the bird's eye view from the commentary box, so we're able to see all the things that are going on around the track. Looking at the top 10 as it is right now, Ricciardo from Cooper the Bot with a 3-second penalty. Panic with another 3-second penalty. That's huge.
That's
no, Panic, no.
He's thrown it away there. Oh, he'll be fuming.
You know what it is? It's turn 11. It's turn 11. They're cutting the
Yes.
corner there so much to keep ahead of people.
That was it, because it looked like he was going to be able to keep Pep behind as well, but he's just brought the Mercedes into it as well. Even though McLaren last night got one over on Mercedes and finished in front of them on points, they now, I think it's gone back again to Mercedes again this week, because, yeah, it looks like they're going to get P3. Look here. Looks like Dynasty
Sector 3 caution.
Ooh, yellow.
Oh, we've got a Red Bull at Salmons, is it?
Salmon's round.
Salmons is in the wall! Salmons is in the wall!
Oh, the wall, and Gangster's got a 10-second for ignoring blue flags.
Oh,
This is drama going on.
my
here, ladies and gentlemen.
goodness.
Oh, and he's right in the mix of
I'm
it.
absolutely... Yeah. And it's big front wing damage for Salmons now. He put it into the wall on the pit lane entry. Don't know if he was trying to get into the pits or he just cooked it in turn 16. Whatever's happened, he's lost a bit of his front wing. So that car's going to be underperforming now under attack by Moontime, who also had his issues. 9 seconds of penalty for Moontime. 10 seconds of penalty for Salmons. Oh, he's lost the rest of the wing because he's tapped the rear end of Moontime as he's come on through in 4.
Oh, no. Oh, he was doing so well. He was behind Panic in P6, and now Dynasty's up into P4. Panic's down to P5. Pep's down into P6. Hippie Slayer down into P7. Some good points here for Kick Sauber.
And by the way, the race is about to end. Checkered flag, and it will be Ricciardo who takes the win for Aston Martin. Well done. Cooper the Bot will be in P3 because Master's within 3 seconds of him. So 1-2 to Aston Martin. And this race is now coming to its closing final parts. Dynasty across the line. He'll take P4, Panic in P5. That's a switch, though, because Pep is within that penalty range. So a 4-5 for Mercedes. Boy, oh boy, it'll be interesting to see whether Dynasty gets that 5-second penalty. That'll elevate Pep, but I don't think it'll do anything for Panic in this situation. What an unbelievable race.
Yeah, it was. It had so much drama tonight, and really unfortunate with what happened with a few of the guys there. There'll be a few incident reports going in, definitely 100% on that, but a fantastic race for Aston Martin. Look at that. The double 1-2. Oh, phenomenal.
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff. Genuinely good. And yeah, Lamb in chat saying more drama here in Div 4 than a high school girls' friends group. And I think most of us can probably agree with that. There was a lot of drama. It was exciting, though. It was super, super entertaining. And I can't wait to talk to our top three, SJ, because this has been an interesting race for them, all three of them. Ricardo's been back and forth with Cooper all race. Masters had his own issues, and seeing the penalty late at the end. So lots of change-ups in this entire race, and the key decision there, I think, for Ricciardo and Master was, hey, let's jump into the pits. When that first safety car came up, that was absolutely critical decision, and it's really saved them in this race. Despite that, though, with Dynasty staying out for a little bit, he managed to catch back up and actually did really well overall. So that's yet another story for us to consider in Division 4. But yeah, big win today for Aston. Mercedes limiting the damage in terms of the points. They'll still be ahead in the Constructors' Championship. And of course, Pep will still be leading the Drivers' Championship at the end of this round. But it is getting a lot closer. And Aston just looking totally dominant at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a fantastic race. But here we go. Here are your classification results. Ricardo and Mastersuck take the double. P1, P2, Cooperbot taking P3. Fastest lap goes to Moontime. A very, very interesting night for him. Probably a bit of a consolidation there, getting that fastest lap. But a little bit commiserations for Haas tonight. Obviously, double DNF for Haas. And nearly a double DNF there for Alpine as well. So, and obviously breaking news, they're losing Evil Blade earlier on, which was unfortunate. So, interesting night ahead. We do have Division 2 coming up very shortly, but we will be jumping on to the comms box to have a quick chat with these guys that are here. But first of all, before we do that, George, summary of that night, my friend. What did you think about Division 4 tonight?
I've got 3 words for you, SJ. Drama, drama, drama.
Yeah.
Tonight's race was fantastic. The qualifying was in the wet, the race was in the dry, and the race just went from peaks to troughs to left to right. We were getting thrown around more than a F1 fighter jet pilot. I don't know if there's an F1 fighter jet. A fighter jet pilot gets thrown around in a dogfight. It was absolutely here, there, and everywhere. I think the key moments there, of course, were the safety cars. That really switched things up. It ended up with 2 Alpines for the first time in P2 and P3 together on track. Unfortunately, they decided not to pit. Ended up being a massive cork in the bottle all the way through that middle part of the race, and that caused a whole bunch of issues all the way through the grid. So some strategy blunders today, some drama in terms of action out on track, some big mistakes, a lot of time penalties. I don't even know where to begin. I'll come back to my original statement, SJ. In 3 words, drama, drama, drama.
Well, I've got some more news for you. We have a tie on Driver of the Day, so it's going again for 10 minutes. It was 2 votes each, so that will be running again. We do have the TP in here as well, which is great to see. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But first of all, let's take it off with P3. I'll start it off. And we have got Cooperbot. Cooper, well, we heard tonight that you didn't enjoy this track, and your TP even said it. We saw in qualifying it looked a little bit difficult, but then the race changed up, but then you threw it all away at the end. What happened?
It's just the left rear killed me at the end, but I won't be saying P3, but I will be reporting one of my warnings. See what happens there.
I love that. I'll be reporting one of my warnings and hope to God it gets removed.
That should, because what happened was I had no idea.
Well, we'll wait for the stewards to see what they say. But give us a little bit of an insight of that race, because as George has said, 3 words, drama, drama, drama. How did you find it tonight?
Qualifying came in, the rain was terrible. So it was starting P8, so it wasn't the best. Was able to get a decent jump off the line, gain a position at the start. And then the safety cars threw a span in the works. I wanted to stay a bit longer, but paid off at the end in the end. Then I was just too slow at the end. My left rear was killing me. Reduced the H1 P1.
Yeah, I think that was one thing that we were talking about earlier on, is that the tyres Probably lap 7. Would you say that was a little bit too early to pit for those hards?
Yeah, you could argue it felt fine to then at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we did see that. We did see that because obviously Dynasty was on 4 lap fresher tyres than all of you, and did make his way through to obviously in a good position, and probably could have made it a lot sooner if he would have been able to get through some of that back traffic. But yeah, interesting race, and I'll pass you over to George to see if he's got any questions for you.
Yep, congrats on the result there, Coop. Obviously not the result that you were after. Now, you did come alive after qualifying, so tell us a little bit more, just give us a little bit more insight into how you fare on the wet, because we were expecting to see some serious pace, but you've said openly in the past, wet condition driving is not your thing.
Yeah, no, it can get thrown in the bin for like. Yeah.
Yep, straight to the point and very, very frank and honest. We appreciate that, of course. So it must have been, news to your ears, and very exciting to see that there was going to be no weather really in the race. It was overcast at the start, though. Did you have a few worries that maybe the rain would return?
No worries at all. Off the entire race.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks very much, Cooper. Really appreciate it, and congratulations on the result today.
Thank you.
All right. Cool. Great job. All right, we'll go over to the Astons, and it is Master Sucks, mate. What a night! You two just seem to just change like dominoes. Like I'll take the fastest lap in qualifying, and then Ricardo took it, and then you took it away from him, and then. But all I've got to say is obviously you're a great pairing, and you must love being teammates. And another fantastic performance again from yourself and Aston Martin.
Yeah, well, what a night. Yeah, still a bit speechless after that. It was a pretty tiring race, especially like the first half. But then once it got towards the end, I was sitting in a bit of a no man's land. 5 seconds ahead. I think it got to the most in 5 seconds behind. So yeah, just really, really happy with this result. It was as possibly could have won it, but no, I tried to catch up to Ricciardo and Cooper, but I had no more pace in that last stint. But yeah, very great night.
What's the aim at the moment? Are you going for the championship? Are you going for the constructors? Like what's the aim in Division 4? Because you two have been very dominant in the last few weeks. We saw a very dominating performance from Mercedes very early on. They are there, but they're not quite there at the front at the moment. They haven't been for the last few races. You've got the double again, so 20 and 25 point, massive points. What's the plan? Like, tell me.
Yeah, like because I right now had a bit of a shock over the last race. Like pretty much my main rival this whole season was Pep. I think he was like 31 points ahead at the last race, but now I think I've sort of chopped it down. I think he ended up P6. Thing is with those Mercedes, they're just so good at damage control. Like whenever we're at P10 or something, they're up in P1. When we're up in P1, they're like 2 positions below us. So like yeah, these Mercedes won't go away. But yeah, it's just the plan is just to keep pushing. Don't stop. We've shown that we have pace. We can win it on track as well. So yeah, keep pushing.
Well, you've both gone P2 and P3 in the standings since obviously pending penalties and results. Next week's Miami. A track of your favourites or not?
I've never done a race around it, and I may have had a little incident in quali, which probably might put me at the back of the grid, but hopefully not. But yeah, really interested to see how Miami will go. Like I said before, never done a proper race there, but I feel just doing a few laps on time trial's like pretty good. So yeah, see how it goes.
Well, fantastic job, and I'll pass you over to George.
Yeah, Master, congratulations. Obviously, there was a moment there at the end of the race where you're thinking, okay, I'll have to settle for P3. That's obviously not going to do me and the team any favours because Mercedes looking like they're charging back up. There was 3 cars there with time penalties ranging from 10 seconds to 3 seconds, and the Mercedes were looking like they were executing a strategy correctly to get back up to sort of a better position. Suddenly, Cooper's had an issue. What's your mindset when that happens?
Yeah, because also I think like around like lap 18, I got my second warning, so the engineer told me to just take it easy, just hope for something. I think he got like the penalty around like 5-3, 5-4, 3 laps ago. Uh, the mindset was just push, just try stay in that penalty range. I didn't want to push too hard because I did not want to pick up a penalty as well. Although he could get it removed at the end of the end of the race, but I just had no more. That was as hard as I could push, honestly. But yeah,
Well done.
just not much I could do. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm going to take you back to the start of the race as well. So obviously you got pole position, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Then you lost that
Yeah.
immediately, and then it was really a battle back and forth. What was the moment where things sort of went a little bit wrong? Was it the start that you just couldn't get the car off the line correctly, or is that starting on the outside line just so difficult?
Oh no, the first couple laps, I'm pretty sure I led at least 3 laps. They were perfectly fine, and then Ricciardo, he was close enough, so we decided to do a bit of DRS swapping. But then I think the first safety car came out. Ricciardo was in front, I was behind, and then we kind of had to double stack. So then I lost 2 positions. So that kind of just ruined my chances to fight. And then yeah, but then the other safety car restarts. I've been a bit unlucky getting stuck behind like cars that haven't pitted. So that pretty sure it was one of the Alpines that helped Ricciardo and Cooper to break away. So I couldn't get behind them at all for the rest of the race. But yeah. Just a bit unlucky with the safety car restarts, but happy with P2 at the moment.
Absolutely. Congratulations to you and the team. Fantastic work.
Thank you.
Right, okay. We'll go over to the winner and another. Actually, I don't even need to move the car because it's still the same person, but a different driver. Ricardo, mate, what a night. Obviously, qualifying tonight was fantastic, and the race as well. How did you find it? Because it wasn't easy. You did get pressurised quite a lot tonight from P2 and P3 earlier on in the race, but how did you find it overall?
Yeah, so I felt like in quality I couldn't hook up a perfect lap, but it was obviously good enough for P2. Yeah, and at the start, me and Master 1 and 2. Plan was to just stay behind Master and slow everyone else down, but the DRS is a bit too powerful, so it would have slowed us down even more if we were to just stay behind each other. So we decided to swap, and then yeah, just that safety car pretty much ruined Master's chances for the win. So then my TP just told me to keep pushing and break away with Cooper, and yeah, I just sat behind Cooper for I don't know how many laps, like 6 laps. Waited for his tires to die out, charge out my battery, and just boost past him. And yeah, got P1.
I love that. I love that. You've got to be happy with the momentum, though, at the moment that you're going in. You're going in the momentum, which is extremely fast and quick, and a very, very good momentum for points and standings. You know, this is now your second win of the season. You won in Portimao and obviously Melbourne. How do you feel in yourself that your performance have gone so far this season?
Yeah, it's been pretty good, better than last season at least so far. Start of last season was pretty bad for me, but I've improved really well as a driver, especially What's Navy helping me, getting us all in for practice really helps out the team, and yeah, big improvement this season.
What's the plan for you? I asked the same thing to Master Sack, but what's the plan for you at the moment? Are you going for the championship? Are you going for the constructors? What's the plan?
Just maximize points, I guess. Just try and outscore Mercedes in every race. Try and go for that constructor, and if one of us are in contention for the driver's title, I guess that's just another bonus.
Do you believe that's doable at the moment of how your performance is and how your racing's going with your teammate?
Yeah, if we carry on at this pace, we'll be in contention for the title, I reckon.
Okay, all good. All right. Well, congratulations, mate. Once again, well done. And I'll pass you over to George.
Yeah, congratulations from myself as well, Ricciardo. So I want to bring you back to Zolder and remind you of that incredible battle you had with Cooper the Bot, which you unfortunately did lose. This time he came out ahead. He's obviously a frustrated man because he's got a 3-second penalty to his name. He had struggles on the rear, tires all through that, but you were looking really switched on this time and looking almost unpassable. He did get you once, but you did get him back. So a different feeling from Zolder, I imagine, having Cooper behind you here at Melbourne.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. No, just he was just in my mirrors for so long, and letting him pass me, and yeah, basically just had to recharge battery and save tires. Pretty much, that's what my TP told me to do, and yeah, it worked out well for us.
Absolutely. Yeah, big congratulations. I've got no more questions. You've done incredibly well. So congratulations on the race win today. And I'm sure your team principal will be absolutely stoked as well.
Hopefully.
Well, we're just about to hear from him because he is in the comms box. We just bring him in because obviously it was a fantastic night, George, for us in Martin. And I'll let you take this one away. Any questions for Watanabe?
Fantastic. Well, Watanabe, mate, you must be absolutely stoked with the driver's performance today. We heard both of them mention the team environment and mentioned how you're pushing them forward in this, and seeing the end result of that, especially against a former really tough opponent of Cooperbot, must feel incredibly satisfying and must feel like the preparation that you're doing is absolutely paying off.
Oh yeah, for sure. After that race, I'm thrilled. I think at the start of the week, after Abu Dhabi, Ricciardo said to me, he's like, "Don't worry, we're getting a 1-2 this week. We're gonna cook." I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we'll see how it goes." We've been practicing, we've been pushing really hard. At the start of the week, they were both Master and Ricciardo. They were really giving me a run for my money with the lap times they've been setting. So yeah, it's just awesome to see the hard work we're putting in. It's really showing now, and a 1-2, it can't get much better than that.
For sure. And we saw a lot of teams trying to do the work together strategy in qualifying and things like that. Didn't see you guys at all trying to work together in qualifying. You obviously realized that it's not worth being anywhere near the dirty air of the car ahead to get the benefit of a slipstream. So saw the guys just setting those individual times. So even without using any kind of slipstream or, teamwork tactics, the guys were just quick today.
Oh, for sure. They're raw pace around here. It's definitely one of their stronger tracks for sure. They're both just amazing on this track. I mean, around quali, the toe we experimented a little bit. Even in the dry, it wasn't great. If you were gaining time, it wasn't really worth it. And then especially in the wet, you don't really want to be near anyone. So it was just go out, push as hard as you can, and hope for the best. And it paid off.
Certainly did. Yeah, congratulations. And I do have to report as well that Ricciardo, you've got driver of the day. And Watanabe, congratulations to the entire Aston team. Well done. I'll hand you over to SJ for the final questions.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, Watanabe, mate. Absolutely fantastic, mate. Again. And obviously, Aston Martin have been phenomenal in Division 4. This is not taking away on the rest of the divisions, but obviously, this is probably your strongest division. Do you believe now with the momentum that these guys are getting each week? We've seen them how quick they are in qualifying. Obviously, a great start in qualifying, and obviously finish at the end of the race. That they can end up taking this constructors to the end of the season.
I'll be completely honest. The Master and Machado, they're a bit, I don't know, but I'll be honest. Yeah, I think they're going to take the constructors for sure. They're both very strong drivers. Mercedes, they had a little bit of bad luck, obviously with Dynasty spinning last week, and then they didn't have the best of luck tonight. If the things keep going our way, I think for sure they might take the lead in the next couple of races with the way that they've been going.
Well, let's ask you one more question before we do wrap it up, because we've obviously got Division 2 just around the corner. Do we feel that there's a target on Mercedes? Because at the moment, They have been the team to watch out for. They are the team that are leading the overalls. But now, if you look at the last few weeks we've seen, they have struggled. We lost Dynasty last week in Abu Dhabi. Strong performance from McLaren last week. This week, unfortunately, Evil Blade is out. So it's the opposite. And obviously Pep got damaged. You guys obviously capitalized, but obviously they finished P5 and 6. But each week they're making mistakes, and that's something obviously going into Miami, which is another very interesting race, especially Sector 3, that like the swimming pool area, not an area that you want to get wrong there. So, did you believe that we're going to see more errors from Mercedes in the next upcoming weeks?
Well, I would never hope that anyone makes any mistakes or anything. But
You do for your team.
well, I guess that's a lie. I mean, I hope. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I hope they do make mistakes, but nah. When you look at the start of the season, how they've been going, they have very, very strong. Obviously, being the team at the top, they're going to have the target on their backs. But yeah, they're making the mistakes now, and we just need to capitalize on those. As Masterstock said, when we make the mistakes and Mercedes are at the top, we're pretty far behind. When they make the mistakes, they can still salvage their race, get up, and still score some good points.
Yeah, well,
So
it's looking that way.
I mean, hopefully they keep making mistakes and we can capitalize it. But we'll just have to see how it goes and keep pushing.
Well, doing an absolutely fantastic job. Miami up next. Has the team feeling around Miami, or have you obviously mainly concentrated on for the remainder of the week at Melbourne?
Yeah. So what I like to do is finish the race week and then we just focus on the next race. Me personally, I don't remember the last time I've done a lap around Miami. I think Master and Charter, they've done a couple laps, but yeah, the main focus was Australia this week, and then we'll start focusing on Miami for next week now.
Okay, well, fantastic. Once again, congratulations to both your drivers of Master Suck and Ricardo. And obviously, congratulations to Ricardo on Driver of the Day as well. Fantastic drive, and look forward to seeing what you can do in your race coming up next, and the guys next week in Miami.
Cheers. Thank you. Hopefully we can replicate what they've done in Div 4 and Div 2.
Well, let's see. You did well last night, so let's see what you can do in Division 2. But remember, these guys have big egos.
Oh, yeah, it'll be super tough, but we'll see how it goes. We'll push. Hopefully we're up there.
All good. No drama. Thanks, Montanabi.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay, George, that is it. What a night of the 3 words, as you did say. Drama, drama, drama. I might even push a fourth one in there. Drama again. Melbourne definitely didn't disappoint. A lot happened there, and a lot could have gone wrong, did go wrong, but could have gone wrong for some other teams. But the biggest team, obviously, that would probably be waving and saying, oh, that was a great night for us, is definitely Aston Martin.
For sure, yeah, no, they've had a great night of racing, and at the end of the day, they've done enough to come out on top, and that's huge for their championship going towards the halfway point in the season. It's a point that Mercedes are going to have to start thinking about. They're going to have to start thinking about how can we start to replicate what Aston Martin are doing. I mean, Watanabe there was a little bit coy about Mercedes' ability. We know obviously that they're super, super fast, but at the moment, I'd almost argue the opposite. If Aston Martin not making any mistakes, they're not going to lose these races. And even if they make a mistake, I could see those two having enough pace to catch back up. That said, don't count out Pep. Don't count out Dizzy Sparrow. The Mercedes are absolutely still in it. Still eager to see if there's some teams that can come up through the later half of the season and challenge these guys and bring it to them. Small mistakes equal big situations at the end of the day. We've seen the drama. It's drama, 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 drama today. I'm absolutely exhausted from it, but it's been fantastic entertainment, and I hope everyone over in the Twitch channel and on YouTube has been enjoying it as well. I certainly have been.
No, definitely, you're right. I definitely agree with that. I think you can't underestimate a few teams there, like the Kicks as well. Cooper's doing a phenomenal job since he's jumped into that seat. You've got the Astons, Mercs, McLarens as well, and Ferrari on their day, and most of the guys on their day as well in there. And it's coming very, very close to silly season, so the guys are going to get another week off again. And then it's pedal to the metal all the way through to the end of the season before the new game. So, and this battle that I'm seeing at the moment that's going on in the background is phenomenal between the Astons and the Mercedes, because it is the Astons and the Mercedes at the moment. I think they've just pulled in 30. There's another 30 points on the constructors, so they're starting to rein the Mercedes in as much as they can. But no, they're making a massive dent on Pep's lead at the front. So I'm looking forward to seeing that wither or disappear, or it might even increase. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you very much.
We'll see by the last. I'm just saying one last thing. By the end of the season in Div 4, I think the entire commentary segment for 2 hours is just going to be us saying drama. Anyway, fantastic evening. Thank you all in chat. Thank you, SJ. Pleasure to be here as always.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate you jumping on. And big up to our main sponsor of AI369. Thank you very much as well. Feel free to jump on their website and get involved. They are very, very close to relaunching. I know I keep saying it, but it is around the corner. It's not going to be far away. Big up to all of our other sponsors as well, Pagnian, SimLab, and New Zealand Speed Nation. Thank you ever so much to everyone tonight for the onboards, for the follows from Kim Sumo, Shark Boy, Kyler, Bob, Driver of the Day, obviously to Ricardo. Congratulations to our podium winners of Ricardo, Master Sucks, and Cooper Bot. And we will be having Division 2 coming up very, very shortly. So do not go anywhere. Get your popcorn ready. Get your hot chocolate, your Coca-Cola, your Fanta, whatever you need, and get ready for some more action at Melbourne coming up very, very shortly. But before we go, I will leave you a quote. There's one team to watch out for now, and it's not the Merc, and it's not the McLaren. It's the Astons. Can they pick up the pace and bring that gap down very soon? We'll have to wait and see in Miami. Good night.